Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching DOTA Dragon's Blood, which was created by Netflix and animated by Studio Mir, and is set to be the first of 3 seasons of DOTA Dragon's Blood that happens to be an adaptation of Dota 2, a game that I've never played, but that I've heard great things about. Now when it comes to the big fantasy animated series of our time, it's certainly very obvious that many of them take inspiration from each other, and that's even more so when they're based on a video game series, such as Dota. But after seeing the original story filled with lore that's sure to please fans of the games, I believe that this is a series that could not only please fans of the Dota games, but also people who have never played Dota before. It certainly got me interested in seeing the games to see what they're all about. But let's get to the story, shall we? In a fantasy world where there are dragons, humans, elves, and so forth, we meet a dragon knight named Davian, played by Yuri Lowenthal. He is basically one of the great dragon knights who defends the innocent from dragons who attack villages every now and then. But after he meets a princess, and after he happens to discover there are more to dragons than meets the eye, he becomes embroiled in events that go far beyond his imagination, as he happens to find various people who are part of these different factions, who are basically not all getting along, and when there's tons of stuff that happen to set up future seasons, happen to set up warfare, and happen to show the various aspects of the Dota world that the fans are sure to appreciate, but it's still explained in a way that's made, accessible for audiences who aren't familiar with Dota. And I know I'm being vague on the story here, but that's only because I want you to see the story as it plays out, because the story is actually pretty interesting once you get into it. That's even more so because Studio Mir's animation work is done very well here, especially during the many action scenes. And you can tell that this is the studio who made Legend of Korra, considering the action scenes, while they don't have any firebending or waterbending or so forth, they do still use ample amounts of magic, weapons, arrows, and especially CGI dragons to help out, making every action scene quite exhilarating. I know I said CGI dragons, but the CGI here used really isn't that bad. It's only used when it really has to be, and outside of a couple of wonky-looking shots in the final episode, a lot of it seemed to blend pretty well with the hand-drawn stuff. So yeah, the anime CGI complaint isn't that heavy here. Plus, I really did like the voice cast. Other than Yuri Lowenthal, there's also Troy Baker, who plays the Invoker. There's Carrie Walgren, who played Luna. There's Tony Todd, who gets to play a pretty sick-looking dragon. And there's just a ton of other talented voice actors and actresses who are clearly putting their all into this series. Now, granted, since it's only 8 episodes long, that means that this is really just the prologue for the story that's yet to come. But that prologue is so interesting, and the episodes are so bingeable to the point where I just blew through all 8 episodes, and I already want more. That's the best kind of binge-worthy watches. Episodes that don't feel too long, and they feel and where the worst part of it is just the fact that you want more. And that's basically all there is to be said about Dota Dragon's Blood. It's not exactly reinventing the game when it comes to fantasy stories of its type, but it's a pretty good prologue for what's to come for Dota that makes me want to check out the game, and it makes me want to see how parts 2 and 3 end up turning out. That's why I'm going to give Dota Dragon's Blood an 8 out of 10. See you next time.